Amidst a gripping and urgent scene, a dog desperately clung to the edge of an ice hole on a frozen lake. As it plunged into the frigid waters, the race against time to rescue the animal commenced. With less than 15 minutes for the dog to survive without assistance, what unfolds next will truly astonish you. Hardy, a lively black Labrador known for being playful and curious, was on a walk with his dog Walker by the lake. It was a beautiful Thursday afternoon, but something bad was about to happen to Hardy. Without knowing the danger that lay ahead, Hardy's dog Walker unclipped his leash when they reached their favorite spot near the edge of the lake. Hardy was excited to be free, and he immediately started sniffing around. In just a few seconds, he smelled a squirrel and started following its scent. He chased it around some trees and bushes but lost track of it. Then he decided to go for a swim. Hardy had always loved water since he was a puppy. Labs are known for this. Whether it was in a lake or even the ocean, he never missed a chance for a swim. Not realizing the risk, the excited dog ventured onto the icy surface of the lake. His legs slipped, and it turned into a new kind of game for him. Hardy was skipping around with a silly look on his face, and he tumbled around on the ice, having the time of his life. With all four of his legs splayed in different directions on the slippery ice, he struggled to remain upright. As he ventured out further onto the icy expanse, the distant voice of his dog Walker faintly reached his ears, calling out desperately, "Hardy, Hardy, come back here, boy." Yet he paid no heed to the urgent pleas. His singular focus remained fixed on the exhilarating game that had captured his canine heart. Little did he realize that the gravity of his actions, unbeknownst to Hardy, the seemingly innocent pursuit of fun was leading him into perilous territory. The frozen lake, once a playground for his aquatic adventures, had become treacherous. The ice beneath his paws, not bearing the weight of his cheerfulness, was thin and fragile. When he noticed the water flowing beneath the thin layer of ice, Hardy jumped up in the air like a polar bear hunting a seal. But each gleeful leap, each excited bound, brought him closer to the brink of disaster. The ice groaned under the strain, cracking with ominous warnings. But to Hardy, it was all part of the game, a game that would soon turn into a life-or-death struggle. He landed on all 4 feet, trying to catch the water beneath the ice. Only the ice in the spot where he landed was way too thin to bear his weight. It started cracking and groaning, and then it split open. A short distance away, Jackie, who had left work early, strolled home, relishing the path that led her past the lake and through beloved wilderness areas. As she entered the park-like setting around the lake, she inhaled the fresh air and cherished the changing seasons. Her love for animals was evident in her career at an animal shelter, where she dedicated herself to helping distressed and less fortunate creatures. With an upcoming climbing trip, Jackie decided on a quick dinner of Thai food to have more time for equipment checks and packing. Meanwhile, in slow motion, Hardy slid into the freezing water. As he ventured onto the unstable ice, there was a strong current beneath the layer of ice. It threatened to pull him under, but he fought back, slapping his front paws on the edge of the hole. At times when the current became too strong, his head disappeared beneath the surface. But he managed to regain his buoyancy and pull himself up again. It was taking its toll, though. He was tiring fast. Time was running out for Hardy. If he didn't get help ASAP, he was going to die. Jackie saw the dog fall through the ice and broke into a run. When she reached the dog Walker, she was offered a breathless explanation. The dog, a Labrador named Hardy, she learned, had been out on a walk when it wandered onto the frozen lake. The ice had cracked and then broken, and Hardy had ended up in the drink. With urgency in her voice, Jackie asked how long the dog had been in the water. The dog Walker wasn't sure, but estimated it was about 5 minutes. Jackie frowned as she did the math. As a fully grown black lad weighing around 70 pounds, the animal couldn't survive in the freezing water for more than 10, maybe 15 minutes. She opened her backpack. In it, she had an ice pick and a length of climbing rope, items she'd borrowed for a weekend trip from a friend at work earlier in the day. Jackie tied the rope around a tree and walked to the edge of the frozen lake. She did a time check. 3 minutes had passed since she got the explanation from the dog Walker and fished out the necessary tools for a rescue from her backpack. That meant Hardy had just over 10 minutes left. Jackie had no choice but to slither across the ice on her stomach. This was going to be a high-risk maneuver, but lying on her stomach was the only way the ice would bear her full body weight, and still, there were no guarantees. Her next movement could be the one that cracked the ice and dumped her into the freezing water. Hardy was getting tired quickly. Each time the current pulled him down, it took him longer to come up for air and swim to the edge of the icy hole. His legs hurt from the cold and exhaustion. Jackie's progress was slow and risky. She knew there was a good chance she might fall through the ice, and if that happened, it would be game over for both her and Hardy. If Hardy could last about 15 minutes in the freezing water, Jackie wouldn't survive more than 8 minutes. She anxiously watched as the Labrador's head disappeared under the hole's edge. She began to panic because it was taking too long for him to resurface. She was only 10 feet away, and her inner timer said he had about 3 minutes left. After another long and slow 2 minutes, Jackie finally made it to the edge of the hole. She tried to grab the dog, but his fur was cold and slippery in her hands. On her first 3 attempts, he slipped away from her grip. Jackie knew they were running out of time. The dog was breathing fast, tired, scared, and almost giving up. Jackie gathered all her strength for one final try. She grabbed Hardy tightly and pulled with all her might. Gradually, she felt the dog moving over the edge of the hole onto the solid ice. Once he had a good grip with his feet, he helped Jackie by scrambling and clawing at the ice. Finally, he came completely out of the water. She lay on top of the dog, speaking to him in a gentle voice while scratching his ears. She didn't want the dog to rush toward the shore and fall into the ice again. When Jackie was sure the dog was calm, she loosened the rope from around her waist, made a second loop, put it around the dog, and pulled it tight. Then she attached herself to the end of the rope and started sliding toward the shore. It was a risky move. The ice still made cracking and groaning sounds beneath her, and in some places it was as thin as a wine glass. But she kept going. When they were near the edge, the dog bounded up and headed for solid ground, pulling Jackie across the ice like a rag doll. Just as she feared, the ice broke. Jackie thought she was in trouble, but they were at the edge of the lake, and the water under the ice was only a few inches deep. They had made it. 10 minutes later, the dog had forgotten the scary experience, and Jackie was catching her breath. The dog rushed over to her, put his head in her lap, and made happy grunting sounds. What do you think about this dog? Have you ever encountered an animal in a frozen lake? What was reaction after that? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this rescue. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.